What's up, people? Manners, respect. Manners, respect. And we are at it again. All right, people. I would like to say it's still cold. So, I want to stay warm. Wish part on the wherever I want to stay warm. But so we still have to do what we have to do, right? We still have to continue on the journey of learning, education, listening, understanding, all of the good stuff, them. What we're supposed to do to make each other better mentally and emotionally. So again, I do two. I every day I do two people. I try to find again. I keep on saying it. Every day, two people find me. Somehow, two people find me for highlight for the day, right? And I've been doing some. I've been finding some amazing people for highlight. Some amazing people in our past, present, and future. And for me, the journey is it's so amazing. It's so amazing to learn about us and see the strength, right? That's in our race and in our culture. So today it was Professor Patrick Lamumbe, Lamumba. I'm telling you, just listening to these people and see them great work and then see the history and the struggle where them have to go through and still represent themselves in such a dignified way. That are the only way you can look upon it, dignified. Because the fight where the people them got through for reach the level where them reach, say it wasn't easy for them. And it's not easy. And it's not supposed to be easy. Right? It's not supposed to be easy. But it's worth it. It's worth learning about them people, yeah. The struggle with them got through. And she said it's possible. Yesterday, I talked about Neely Fuller, right? And again, I got to do some research and I've been listening to some of his programs. I'm gonna tell you, say, it's eye opening. It's eye opening the teaching and the understanding. So we are gonna continue with along the path of those guys. But today, since my pick it's a lady tonight, right? I pick Mary Maynard Daly. Right again, me tell you say the people them want come up as some amazing people them. These people are not normal people. Them people are skill stands for itself, which means so when you see them people at work, it's either people are study them or them work is being showcased somewhere, statue, um um places name off of them. Like there's so much accolades and people have. But the funny thing about it is Nobody knows of them people. Yeah. So this is why I say I want to be highlighting these people more. Sure, say them people is people them greater. Really, people them great. So some always have to pick somebody or represent our great and beautiful history. So as we proceed, all right, this is it. Marie Maynard Daly. She born 1960, 1921 to October 28, 2003. You see, 2003 she passed. So she lived a very long life. Was an American biochemist. She was the first African American to receive a PhD from Columbia University and the first African American woman in the United States to earn a PhD in chemistry. Daly made important contributions in four areas of research: the chemistry of histones, protein synthes- synthesis, the relationships between cholesterol and hypertension, and creatines uptake by muscle cells. All right. Daly attended Hunter College High School, a laboratory high school for girls run by Hunter College facility, where she was also encouraged to pursue chemistry. She then enrolled in Queen College, a small, fairly new school in Flushing, New York. She lived at home to save money and graduated cum laude. Magna cum laude? Latin honors are a system of Latin phrases used in some colleges and universities to indicate the level of distinction with which an academic degree has been earned. The system is primarily used in the United States. It's also used in some Southern Asian countries with European colonial history. From Queen's College with her bachelor's degree in chemistry in 1942. Upon graduation, she was named a Queen's College Scholar, an honor that is awarded to the top 2.5% of the graduating class. Labor shortage and the need for scientists to support the war effort enabled Daly to gain her fellowships to study at New York University and Columbia University for her master's and PhD degrees, respectively. Daly worked as a laboratory assistant at Queen's College while studying at New York University for a master's degree. Wow. In chemistry, which she completed in 1943. 1 year she took to get her master's. She became a chemistry tutor at Queen's College and enrolled in the doctoral program at Columbia University, where she was supervised by Mary Letta Caldwell for a PhD thesis titled A Study of the Products Formed by the Action of Pancreatic Amylase on Cornstarch, and received her PhD in chemistry in 1947. Take her 3 years to get that. Career. Daly worked as a physical science instructor at Howard University from 1947 to 1948 while simultaneously conducting research under the direction of Herman Branson. After being awarded an American Cancer Society grant to support her postdoctoral research, She joined Alfred E. Mirsky's group at the Rockefeller Institute. What? Rockefeller Institute is a university. The Rockefeller University is a private biomedical research and graduate only university in New York City, New York. It focused primarily on the biological and medical science and provides doctoral and postdoctoral education. It is classified as a special focus research, which studied the cell nucleus and its constituents. This was the start of a 7-year research program at the Rockefeller Institute of Medicine, where daily examined how proteins are constructed in the body. At the time, the structure and function of DNA were not yet understood. Daly began working in the College of Physicians and Surgeons at Columbia University in 1955. In collaboration with Quentin B. Deming, she studied arterial metabolism. She continued this work as an assistant professor of, biochemistry and of medication at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. The Albert Einstein College of Medicine is a private medical school in New York City, founded in 1953. Einstein operates as an independent degree granting institution as part of the integrated healthcare Monfort health system and also as affiliation with Jacobi Medical Center and Yeshiva University of Medicine at Yeshiva University, where she and Deming moved in 1960. From 1953 58 From 1958 to 1963, she also served as an investigator for the American Heart Association. During her final years at Albert Einstein College, per Daly's effort to increase minority enrollment in professional and graduate schools, she helped run the Martin Luther King Robert F. Kennedy program to help prepare black students for admission. In 1971, she was promoted to associate professor. Associate. In 1975, Daly was one of the 30 minority women scientists to attend a conference examining challenges facing minority women in STEM fields. The conference was held by the American Association for the Advancement of Science. This resulted in the publication of the report, The Double Bind, The Price of Being a Minority Woman in Science, 1976, which made recommendations for recruiting and retraining minority women scientists. Daly was a member of the Board of Governors of the New York Academy of Science for 2 years. She was a fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science and of the American Cancer Society. Daly was designated as a career scientist by the Health Research Council of the City of New York. Designated as a career scientist. Okay. Daly retired in 1986 from the Albert Einstein College of Medicine and in 1988 established a scholarship for African American chemistry and physics majors at Queens College in memory of her father. In 1999, she was recognized by the National Technical Association as one of the top 50 women in science, engineering, and technology. Wow. Marie Maynard Daly. Wow. Oh, so she didn't married Marie Maynard Daly Clark. Vincent Clark, our husband, did our husband. Okay, all right. Research. Daly was particularly interested in nuclear proteins. She developed a method for the fractionation of nuclear material and the determination of its composition. It was essential to separate cellular material into all of its components without destroying or losing any of them. She developed methods for the fractionation of nuclear material and the determination of of its composition. It was essential to separate cellular material into all of its components without destroying or losing any of them. She studied histones, proteins found in cell, nuclei, nuclei, and was able to show the amino acid composition of various histones fractions. Her studies of histones with Mirsky provided evidence for lysine-rich histones. Okay. Histones in biology, histones are highly basic proteins abundant in lys, lysine and arginine residues that are found in echo, ecra, ecra, ecronic cell nuclei and is most archaeal pila. They act as spoons around which DNA winds to create structural units called nucleosomes. Nucleosomes in turn are wrapped into 13 nanometers fibers that are found. Now, if I find out about this little bit, yes, yo, this lady, I love this stuff. I'm gonna tell you so that people are great. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this. All right. Nucleosomes in turn are wrapped into 30 nanometer fibers that form tightly packed chromatin. Histones prevent DNA from becoming tangled and protect it from DNA damage. In addition, histones play important roles in gene regulations and DNA replication. Without histones unwound, DNA in chromosomes would be very long. For example, each human cell has 1.8 meters of DNA if completely stretched out. However, when wound around histones, this length is reduced to about 9 micrometers of 30 nanometers diameters chromatin fibers. There are five families of histones which are designated. Whoa, look past. Yo, look here. We need some. All right, let me go and read. Let me go and read. But this is so them are them things that I tell you how the people them great. Okay, there are five families of histones which are designated H1, H5, anchor histones, H2, H3, and H4 core histones. The nucleosomes core is formed of two H2A, H2B dimers and a H3 and H4 tetramer. The tight wrapping of DNA and histones is to a large degree a result of electrostatic attraction between the positively charged histones and negatively charged photos, photostate backbone of DNA. Histones may be chemically modified through the action of enzymes to regulate gene transcription. The most common modifications are the methylation, methylation. In the chemical science is the addition of a methyl group or a substrate or the substitution of an atom by a methyl group. Methylation is a form of alkylation with a methyl group replacing a hydrogen atom. These terms are commonly used in chemistry, biochemistry, soil science, and biology. Nice. Of Argentine or lysine residues or the alkylation of lysine methylation can affect how other proteins such as transcription factors interact with the nucleosomes. Lysine acrylation eliminates a positive charge on lysine, thereby weakening the electrostatic attraction between histone and DNA, resulting in partial unwinding of the DNA, making it more accessible to gene expression. Yes, a lot of things she did a study. I just didn't want to read about that little bit. Okay, she studied histones, proteins found in cell nuclei, and was able to show the amino acid composition of various histone fractions. Her studies of histone at Mirsky provided evidence for lysine-rich histones in contrast to the Argentine-rich histones described by Albert Kossel. Ludwig Karl Martin Leonard Albert Kossel was a German biochemist and pioneer in the study of genetics. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Psychology or Medicine in the 1910 for his work in determining the chemical composition of nucleic acids, the genetic substance. Histones have since been shown to be important in gene expression. Daly's work on histones is now considered fundamental. See? Wow. Greatness, greatness. Marie Maynard Daly. Marie Maynard Daly. Just love them history. I know them story I so believable. Okay, so let me see. Protein and nucleic acids. I tell you, I pay a big word, them big scientists. Them big scientists I mess around with enough people. These scientists, these great people, I tell you, them brain, the brain. That me I try to show you the people them did great. Oh, we great, great, great. Okay, I could continue. They did develop methods for separating out the nuclei of the tissue and measuring the base composition of purine and per- pyrimidines in dexophentose nucleic acids. She concluded, among other things, that no base other than adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine were present in applicable amounts. She investigated protein synthesis, 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 including the role of cytoplasmic ribocleroprotein in protein synthesis. People are pure big word over here, so you know. Okay, using radio-labeled amino acid, glycine, she was able to measure how protein metabolism changed under feeding and fasting conditions in mice. This allowed her to monitor the activity of cytoplasm as the radio-labeled glycine was taken up into the cell nucleus. In 1953, Watson and Crick described the structure of DNA, accepting the Nobel Prize for this work in 1962. Watson cited one of Daly's papers on the role of ribonucleoprotein in protein synthesis as contributing to his work. After 1953, the cell nucleus research field was flooded with funding opportunities. Open door again. Cholesterol and hypertension, them things are for we still, the salt, pressure. Daly and her colleagues did some of the earliest work relating diet to the health of the cardiac and the circular system. They investigated the impact of cholesterol, sugar, and other nutrients. She was the first to establish that hypertension was a precursor of altercorosis. Altercorosis. I say a pure big word over here, so people. Sorry for the massacre. Sorry for the massacre. Okay, so altercorosis is a pattern of the disease arteriocorosis, arteriocorosis, characterized by development of abnormalities called les- lesions in walls of arteries. This is a chronic inflammatory disease involving many different cell types and is different by elevated level of cholesterol in the blood. Okay, and the first to identify a relationship between cholesterol and clogged arteries, an important discovery in understanding how heart attack occurs. Wow, call her name one more time, two more times, three more times. Marie Maynard Daly. Wow, lady, thank you so much. Thank you for the hard work you put in. She was especially interested in how hypertension affects the circulatory, circulatory system. She showed that high cholesterol intake in diet led to clogged arteries and that hypertension accelerated this effect. She studied the effect of diet on hypertension and found that both cholesterol and sugar were related to hypertension. Investigating aging, she suggested that smooth muscle hypertrophy hypertrophy due to aging might have a causative role in hypertension and atherosclerosis. Daly was also an early investigator into the effect of cigarette smoke on the lungs and hypertension. Whoa. In the 1970s, Daly began studying the uptake of creatine. Creatine is an organic compound with a normal formula. It exists in various tautomers in solutions. Creatine is found in vertebrates where it facilitates recycling of endonesin tri tri okay triphosphate tri trihostate. People appear big word over here, so with this lady, primarily in muscle and brain tissue. I tell you, sir, this is probably one of the smartest people so far. So far, one of the smartest people. Okay. In 1970s, Daly began studying the uptake of creatine by muscle cells, an important research topic in the energy recycling systems of muscle. Or uptake of creatine by cultured cells, 1980. Describe the conditions under which muscle tissues best absorb creatine. Personal life. There is limited information about her personal life and motivation for science. Daly's father, Ivan C. Daly, had immigrated from the British West Indies, found work as a postal clerk, and eventually married Helen Page of Washington, D.C. They lived in New York City, and Daly was born and raised in Corona, Queens. She often visited her maternal grandparents, maternal, maternal. grandparents in Washington, where she read about scientists and their achievements in her grandfather's extensive library. Reading. She was especially impressed by Paul Henry Duckruff was an American microbiologist and writer, publishing as Paul Duckruff. I'm just take out their middle name. He is known for his 1926 book, Micro, 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 Microbe Hunters. This book was not only a bestseller for a lengthy period after publication, but has remained high on the list of recommending reading for science. And okay, I tell you, there's so much information, but again, me usually want to focus on one person, but me no mind drop a little sidebar about, you know, more information. Okay, the microbe hunters, a work which influenced our decision to become a scientist. And that me tell you people, you see, we inspire somebody inspire somebody. I said this, man, I love this, you know. Man, I love this because I tell you, so this is such a rich and deep feel where like nobody nobody know. Coming like, sure, this is not important. And it's so important. It's so important. All right. Daly's interest in science was also influenced by her father, who had attended Cornell University with the intention of becoming a chemist, but had been unable to complete his education due to a lack of funds. And you see, most of them story, it comes on to how much money you can pay for you to learn. So it's funny, some people don't even want to learn anymore. Daly would thus complete her father's ambition by majoring in chemistry. Years later, she started a Queen's College scholarship fund in his honor to assist minority students majoring in chemistry or physics. Daly married and took the name Marie Maynard Daly Clark. Her husband died before her, and they did not have any children. She died on October 28, 2003. R.I.P. Miss. I just love your story. And it's my honor to repeat it. On February 26, 2016, Legacy. On February 26, 2016, the founding principal of the new elementary school PS360Q, Mr. R. Emmanuel Cook, announced that the school would be named the Dr. Marie M. Daly Academy of Emmanuel Cook. Announced that the school would be named the Dr. Marie M. Daly Academy of Excellence in honor of the Queen's resident. Additionally, Einstein College also created an annual memorial lecture called the Marie M. Daly Memorial Celebration that is sponsored by the Division of Biomedical Science and the Einstein Minority Science Association. Every year, guest speakers are invited to give a lecture highlighting diversity and contribution of minority to science. Yeah, our next great, wow. Again, our biography, our life was private, but there's so much reference. No, there's so much reference. There's so much reference. I told you, man, these people have so much content to who they are. So again, I just wanna do an inter introduction. Marie Menard Daily. Beautiful lady too. April 16, 1921. Passed on at age 82. Live long. People, me tell us the great people, them stories so alive. Them stories so real. You just, well, me personally, me can't, I've always said that. I love read from a little bit, you know. I've read so much and remember so much. Again, people, as we proceed, right? So, listen, I never want, I don't wanna, but this could be part two because I did a whole thing. But you see, the whole theme about this is, um, I look at look at it, right? The things that we're supposed to help us grow and for us to be who we're supposed to be. It's some of the missing keys them or we don't pay attention to. But me say from from the start out this program, we highlight detail our great heroes, past, present, and future. That me I forgot call it heroes, past, present, and future. So this is happy talk. I play happy talk already, right? Um, them program is always fire. Them always have some professor, some intelligent people with bigger brain than my one, and just to listen to them people, I make me feel good, right? So this is Dr. George Fraser, right? This man too, let me tell you, coming like say, there's something about so much knowledge and living long. Cause all of the great scientists and people them live a good life. So this is Dr. George Fraser, right? And it's called the existential um crisis of the black family, right? I'm gonna tell you one time them people are taught them people have degree on top of degree. Them way smarter than me, them way spend them whole life I focus on the things them that make us not being the best of us or not being unlimited, right? Me just live and understand, ask a lot of questions. But these people, them do research, them do uh stats and all of them things that will come up with the answer them. Now we're gonna make the doctor speak, but not I'm gonna stop once in a while, not as much. Stop once in a while because some of the things these are the things that me I talk about some of the time too. Right? So as we proceed.
This is your time. The live stream is very inexpensive. Okay. And so is coming to the door. But you're supporting two Black-owned businesses by coming, either seeing us on live stream or coming through the door and checking these people out live. But family, this is going to be a good event. Okay, and it's happening March 23rd from 1:30 to 7 p.m. Okay, and you can go to our website happyfilm.com and get your live stream tickets. And I will be throughout the show. I'm going to put up the other links if you want to. If you're in New York and you want to come through, and also there's still some vending space left if you want to vend there as well. But family, right here, we expect everybody. We expect everybody, and when you get there, we need to know which country you coming from because everyone should be on the live stream right here, fam. Okay, all right, now without further ado, listen, this is really exciting because this person has never been on our show, but I've seen countless videos. And if you are on Instagram, and listen, I'm on Instagram probably a little too much, but if you're on Instagram, you've seen Dr. Frazier someplace saying something. This is such a wonderful man, and it's so I'm so excited that he said yes. So we're gonna just look at just like little sizzle reel first, and I'm gonna bring him in. All right, family. So make sure that everyone's giving him, the happy hello, the happy love. That's super important. All right. Nice,
That was
nice. All
epic.
right. Without further ado, this is Dr. George Frazier. Hey, Dr. Frazier.
Hey, boy, you have so much energy. I admire you. It is coming off the screen into me. God bless you. Thank you so much for that. This is
Oh,
a pleasant surprise, really. I'll pass cross by both circumstance and happenstance and a mutual friend, and I haven't been
yes.
the same since. Whoop! Here I am.
Whoops.
That happened really quick. But it's. I think it has to do with your infectious way of talking to people and emanating that kind of feminine energy and love that is
Mm,
only invested in
mm,
a black woman, and I love that about you.
mm.
Thank you. I mean it.
My, you got to come back on this show, Dr. Frazier. That's what's up. You know what is, let me tell you, it's so this is my happy place for real, for real.
Yeah.
Down to people, what we're doing, what they're doing. Like it's really nice. And it's really an honor, to sit down with you. And when we have people come on, like Taki and I are really students. We sometimes we forget that we're we're actually hosting and we have to like ask questions and stuff like that. But it's so nice, that you say yes and you have so many years of experience. You're not just talking, you're doing it,
Oh, that, that,
which is our model. So we're already there. And our friend Dr. Ken Harris, I mean, listen, Dr. Ken has he hosted two of our events, our live events, one in Detroit, the One Africa conference, and then
mm,
he came to New York and hosted Happy Day of Black Excellence. So yeah. So when he said he's like,
wow.
oh, Dr. Frazier, I was like, what? So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Well, this is a joy and a privilege to address your audience, your august audience. I know if they're your audience, uh, they're my audience. I mean, because it's
Mm-hmm.
exactly you emanate the kind of messaging and the kind of living and the kind of modeling
Mm.
that really will help take the next generation and future generations to another level. And I so appreciate you. I noticed you used the word excellence, and I love that word. It was one of my favorite words. I feel right now, though, under certain circumstances, it is a bit overused. Not on you, but on too many
Mm-hmm.
others. So, with that being the fundamental issue, as I perceive it, at the Power Networking Experience, or used to be called Power Networking Conference, which is now in Atlanta, we moved it to Atlanta permanently. It'll be in November the 5th through the 8th. Um, and and I'll be introducing this new, let's call it mantra, at the conference.
Mm.
And the mantra is this, because everything is about leveling up. Everything is about leveling up. And I'm 80 years old,
Mm.
and I'm still leveling up. Okay. But
Okay, all right, people. Hear what the man say? The man says he's 80 years old and he's still leveling up. So many of us give up on ourselves because of things that we reach a certain age. But they did say age is just a number, right? As we proceed,
mantra, excellence is the base, exceptionalism is the goal.
Mm.
So when you become, and you are already there, Felicia, when you become exceptional at what you do, you will never have to worry about opportunity. People will hunt you down,
Mm.
provide you the opportunities that you need and deserve. So that's the goal. It's a very high level goal. So right now, what we're saying is that as as people of African descent, we have to enter whatever it is that we're entering at excellence. It used to be good, right? It used to be good. You, and you could probably get a little bit over if you were average. But if you were mediocre, this is what my mama told me. If you're black and mediocre, you better leave in America. You better leave because you're going
Mm.
to be marginalized and you're ultimately going to be destroyed. So now that has been leveled up over generations. Excellence is the base. Now we have to have a new aspirational goal, and that is to be exceptional at what you do. And that you are. I say all that to say that.
I like that. Someone said, Lucio in our chat, he was like, I'm still in that. I was like, yes, we still in that.
Well, you're
Um,
going to beat the crowd. You're going to beat the. Now, a lot of people don't know that I'm the brother that created a phrase that everybody uses. And when I presented it on the stage, sitting next to Minister Farrakhan, talk about intimidating. It was the State of Black America with Tavis Smiley about 13 years ago. Connect the dots. Connect the dots. Now everybody uses that, all right? But and I had a little presentation. You can go on YouTube. You can find that. Put my name in, George C. Fraser. Connect the dots, and you can watch the video. Um, so, but generally I don't talk about these things, but I just feel comfortable and free to
that's what's
speak
up.
openly and honestly with you. Thank you for that. Thank you for presenting that and informing this platform with that kind of energy. Thank you.
Mm. Oh, you're welcome. But you know what? I'm really reflecting you. That's what I feel like that's so interesting.
Yeah,
It's the same.
that's a profound insight.
Yeah.
That's exactly, and I guess maybe I'm saying the same thing. I'm giving you back the energy that you actually are giving me. We are reflecting each
Yes.
other's energy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you happen to be, which I did not know when I first met you, the first moments I met you. You happen to be very African centered, as I am very
Yes.
African centered. And I'm
okay, two things. You see, most of the time we deflect each other's energy, not reflect. This is why I keep on saying it. We don't see each other. If we don't see each other, then it's a deflection, not a reflection. And like-minded people, we have to have pretty much the same thing in common, the same goal. So again, this is the professor who's talking about these things, but these are the things that I keep on looking at as we continue.
And I know I don't look like it, right? But that has something to do with genetics. My father is from Guyana,
Oh.
um, and he came to America in the early 1900s, and married a fair-skinned sister from Lumpkin, Georgia, Ida Mae Baldwin. And when I say fair-skinned sister, she was about my complexion. I don't have to explain to anybody in your audience how that happened. Okay. Her great grandparents were slaves, and then they moved to Brooklyn, New York, into Bed-Stuy, and they built a brownstone in Bed-Stuy on Putnam Avenue. So I spent my young years, my first 21 years, growing up on the streets of Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, New York. They say if you're from Bed-Stuy, not just Brooklyn,
Mhm.
Bed-Stuy, you're either a thug or a gangster.
Oh.
I'm a gangster. You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out in this show.
Oh my, that's what's up. Wow.
Eh? Ah, nothing good no come from this, eh? Ah, sometimes people, I tell you, as we proceed, eh?
Based on the show, okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm loving your energy. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I love so family, when I first talked to Dr. Frazier, I was like, okay, what are we gonna talk about? He's like, I have a list. I was like, oh my, not the list, because I feel that like everything that I've been reading about you, looking at your videos, I was like, you can literally talk about anything. But you were like, you want to talk about the Black family tonight.
Yes.
And so I so appreciate that. And I've seen some of the work that you've done, but I want to just sort of turn this over to you, and you're gonna get us started. And family, listen, make sure you are liking and sharing this video. Get this out. We had Jabari Ozazi, who's also in Hoppy. He came on one time and he said, look, everyone, when you come onto Hoppy Talks, you have to like and share the video, and you have to send it to 3 people. Okay. And this is important because when we talk about like, getting programming for us and staying in the loop and us moving forward and being connected in a real way, it starts with something as small as liking the video and sending it to someone else.
Okay, and you see how important it is just to like the video, share the video. That's all. And that's what pretty much everybody asks for, right? But some people watch the video, don't share the video, or like the video. I'm saying it's not much to help each other, that's all. And if you feel offended because we're asking, okay, why are you feeling offended? That's what you have to ask yourself as we continue, because this is a really good program. It's a really good platform, right? And it's a really good program. And so is my platform too.
Because trust me, you are going to be moved by something, and probably a lot of things that Dr. Frazier says tonight. Okay. And we want you, because the other piece is that we feel your energy in the chat as well. We are all one. And so, family, it's really important that you send this video to people so we can all sit down, because we're about to get a lesson. Okay. And this is going to be really exciting. So, without further ado, just go ahead, take it away.
Okay, great. I want to start with something that informed my entire life.
Okay.
Aside from my best friend, nearly 60 years, Dr. Quar David Whitaker, whose rites of passage program I went through almost 50 years ago. And but I was 17 years old, running the streets of Harlem. Actually, I was on Lenox and 125th Street, and hadn't graduated from high school yet. And I was just, doing what we do. We instead of running the malls back in the day, born 1945, we run the streets. And there was a young man on that day in 1962 who was standing on the corner on a soapbox talking. Wasn't Malcolm. I wasn't really very familiar with who he was. So he started gathering a crowd, uh, and I walked over and listened to him. I found out at that time that his name was Stokely Carmichael, who later changed his name to Kwame Ture, married the beautiful African song stylist Miriam Makeba, and ultimately moved to Ghana. But he was the left wing arm of Dr. King's movement,
Mm.
and he was brilliant. And actually, people really sort of tagged him to be the next Malcolm. But Stokely said something so powerful on that corner that it went deeply into my subconscious mind and changed really the whole trajectory of my life. So I'm going to recite to you exactly what Stokely said. It takes less than a minute
Mhm.
on that day that I think really needs to be embedded in the mind of African people in this country. He said on that day that no black person in this country makes any advancement solely based on his or her talent or worth, that all individual advancement is based on mass struggle, and we make no progress in this world without shedding our blood. Therefore, if your advancement your advancement and success does not belong to you. It belongs to the people. And if you do not use your success for the advancement of your people, it is a betrayal of the
Mm.
people who shed their blood for you.
Yes.
So I went, I mean, wow. I'd never heard anybody say that. And that embedded itself in my subconscious mind and really informed the trajectory of my entire life. I just wanted to get that out at the same time,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Now, let me get to the subject at hand. There is,
Okay, okay, before it gets to the subject, okay, that's one other thing I look at, how is it that people with so much money do the things that they do with the money when there's so much good they could do with the money? If they have so much money, how are they not doing anything to change anything? All they're doing is showing that they have money. We're supposed to set an example. All of them people that I read about, all of them people that put in foundation, scholarship, everything, them all play it back. And there's many people out there who's doing quietly, but then there's many who's just showing that they're not doing. As we proceed, again, people, me say the program them I'm find and the program them I'm listen to, it's just changing. It's just changing my feelings in a more positive way, a brighter way. Because it was always bright, but then people are just make it brighter. So it's not, it's changing and enhancing. Butterfly, caterpillar, as we proceed.
there is no culture in the history of humankind that has risen to maximize their full human potential without family, the center of that culture. I give a talk on the power and importance of the human connection. And the essence of that talk is that the most important human decision you will make about another human being will be your life partner.
Mm.
You're pledging to this person that you choose to be your life partner till death do us part. Now that's a hell of a thing to say to somebody. Till death do us part. I got married at 28. Okay. Till death do us part. And we're both young, dumb, and sort of full of cum. That's street vernacular.
Yes.
But right? But I felt at that time, as little as I knew, because I'm only 28, what the hell did I know? But I felt that we were evenly yoked. She was pretty, she was smart, she had character, she had integrity. She grew up old school as I grew up old school. We are the same age. And she was taught to be a wife. She grew up with a mother and a father.
Mm.
And that impressed me. And so I proposed to her and married her. 52 years later,
Wow.
we still kicking it. Still kicking it.
Still kicking it.
That's another discussion. And that's sort of the context of really what I want to explore and maybe reveal, because so many of our people don't know what I'm about to say. And I understand why they don't know, because it's really like revealing to somebody that you have cancer.
Mm.
People don't talk about that. They keep that quiet. The more quiet you keep it, the less you do about it, the more it metastasizes and ultimately will kill you.
Mm.
This is something we need to talk about. It's not being talked about. That's why I chose of the 5 selections you had. I could have talked about either one of those, but I wanted. This is very important. In 1950, it was the highest marriage rate we achieved in culture in America. It was 77%. 77% of us were married. Today, the marriage rate in our culture is 23%.
Mm.
23%. Based on all facts and statistics. If we do not fix this within the next generation, marriage rate will be in the very low teens.
Mm.
This is not healthy. This is not good. 71% of our women are not married, and 29% of them will never get married. 66% of Black men are not married, and 34% of them will never get married.
Mm.
This is exacerbated by 2 other devastating statistics, of which there have been many warnings of, beginning with the Moynihan Report, 1965, when it was discovered through the U.S. Census Bureau that the out-of-wedlock birth rate of Black women was 5 times the rate in America. America was 5%, Black women were 25%. Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan from New York was commissioned to do a major study on it. It came out in 65, and we called it racist, that it wasn't true, that it was just we were very angry about it. But fundamentally, the report said, this is what the statistics say, but out-of-wedlock marriage rate is 5 times of ours. We can count. We can't control how you screw. Government can't control that.
Mm.
You have to fix that. There might be some ancillary things that we can help strengthen the financial state of your community and culture, but we cannot control how you give birth. If you don't fix it based on all statistics and trends, within 2 generations, your out of wedlock marriage rate will be in the 70s.
Wow.
But we said that's a lie. That's not going to happen. We ignored it. What happened? Out of wedlock birth rate is 70. Is 23. No, I'm sorry. Out of wedlock birth rate is 72%. 72%.
Wow.
And 80% of our children are raised in a single parent household. 8%.
Yeah.
Principally by a Black woman with very little masculine influence. Now, statistics and facts also tell us that the outcomes of a single Black woman raising a child is far less good than the outcomes of if a male was raising a child. So this is not good.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
had a significant impact because economics, as I coined the term last 2 years ago, economics is the new Black power. Economics is the new Black power. It has impacted our ability to build wealth and to intergenerationally transfer that wealth. Let me say that in a more sociological way. But without couples, you have no families. Without families, you have no community. Without community, you have no tradition. Without tradition, you have no culture.
Mm. Mm.
So these are big red, no tradition. Without tradition, you have no couples. You have no families. Without families, you have no community. Without community, you have no tradition. Without tradition, you have no culture.
Mm.
Okay, people. Rewind it for the hear it what I'm say. Without couples, we have no community. If we don't respect each other, if we can't get along with each other, we can't build nothing. And at that me I say, right?
Mm. Mm.
So these are big red flags. Now, there are 5 major cultural groups in America. And for 350 years, white folks, in terms of median household income, 350 years, white folks were number one.
Mm.
Number one, 350 years. No longer number one. They're number 3. Why, Dr. Fraser? Because there is a significant decline in white marriages as well. They
Mm.
went 90% to 57%. Now, you
Oh.
know, when white folks catch a cold, Black people catch pneumonia.
Yes. Yes.
This is what happens. Okay. There are lots of reasons for it. I can go into those reasons another time. So, what I want to do is articulate for our audience what the median household income looks like of the 5 major cultural groups and to compare it to the marriage rate. It's very simple. Who's number one in America today? A lot of people don't know. East Indians.
Mm.
$124,000 a year is their median household income. This is statistics from November of 2022. What is the marriage rate in the East Indian culture? 94%. Second are Chinese Asians. $109,000 median household income. What's the marriage rate? Nearly 70%. third of white people, $81,000 a year.
Oh, that's
Marriage rate 57%. Fourth are Hispanics.
what? Wait, okay, I'm sorry.
Hispanics, $63,000 a year, 70% marriage rate. Black people at the bottom, $53,000 a year, marriage rate 23%.
People, when I listen to them numbers there, the highest percent of marriage rate have the biggest income because them people that be create community. Those people, those people spend the money amongst themselves, and I've seen that. I never. That is so funny because that I've seen it though, man. Them people that them a keep party, everybody a come support them. The whole family a come, and that's one of the thing I said. I tell you, revelation. You see, when I go through the 12 colors, that's me feel the same way like how me feel now. Just just learning and understanding what's missing. The unity, me keep on hollering the unity where we're supposed to have. We don't have it. We don't have the family support. We don't have the business support. We don't have no economic support. We just in the middle of the ocean on the same boat, similar situation. As we proceed, people.
23%. Now, anybody doing any simple math and do any correlation, you can see that median household wealth is fundamentally driven by marriage rate. Why is that? It's just very simple. They have two working on building wealth, and we have one. Right? So, I want to say this to the sisters out here, still beloved. It appears to me, based on facts, statistics, and trends, Felicia, that sisters today, our modern women, talking about modern women and modern men. We're not talking about OGs. We're not talking about baby boomers. Our sisters today would rather have a baby than to be a wife. That is the path they're chosen. Because yes, pregnancy can happen, but the pregnancy can only come to term if the woman decides. If the woman decides, even if it's an accident, not intended, but the woman decides, not the man, that she's going to bring it to full term. So this is not looking good for us. And what I'm saying, looking good, is I don't really think I have to explain to your conscious audience the power and importance of family. I think that is. The question then becomes, why are marriage rates down? What happened? What happened in our culture to bring our marriage rate to where they are? And there are a lot of technical, just looking at something here. There are a lot of technical reasons. I'll go through those in a minute, but I'm going to give you, as an OG at 80 years old, and my observations and studies in the culture of some cultural things that have happened. I grew up in an era. I'm from a family of 11, 8 boys, 3 girls.
Nice. Nice.
Wonderful. I remember plainly, it's my sister. My sister is 1 year older than me. She's a PhD from Harvard. And my sisters were told by my mother, don't ever depend on a black man to provide for you. Black men in this country, she didn't say it in a hateful way. She said it in a protective way. Our black men are under attack.
Mm.
So you must get educated. You must be able to take care of yourself. Come hell or high water. Sisters listened. Do you know that black women are the most educated women in America? 70% of the master's degrees conferred.
And it's not just in America. I look at it, black women are the most educated everywhere. And it's not just like in skill wise, but in a sense, smart enough to know better, right? But some don't. Or it's not like they're not smart enough to be influences. That are one of the thing. Again, let the professor continue.
Last year went to black, well, collectively went to black women. That 60% of the PhDs conferred um, belong to black men and women combined. So our sisters are educated. They are earning as much, if not more, than black men. They are less of a threat to white men and
Mm.
pleasing to the eye, quite frankly, of white men. And upward mobility for them is not easy, but it's easier than a chocolate brother. I can tell you that,
That's true.
no question. So that was one of the mitigating circumstances. It wasn't the only. It's never one thing, Felicia. It's a confluence of things over time that deteriorate and destroy the base from which a family is built. The other thing that happened in the 60s and 70s was feminism.
Mm.
I am strong, hear me roar. Now, there wasn't as big a black feminist movement as there was a white feminist movement, but it was so popularized in America. It really did strengthen women and provide them access to more opportunities and more income. So that helped to strengthen this objective that was assigned by OG moms to the modern woman. Right? So they were stronger. There's more opportunity. Yeah, for all of you out there, and probably politically incorrect to talk about this after what we saw, the incredible performance by my favorite rapper of all times, Kendrick Lamar, the symbolism of what he presented to the world.
Okay, Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna do a live on him, but just for this professor to say something about a modern day artist that is alive today, right? It's not just in the past. I keep on saying it as we proceed.
The revolution that he presented to the world. But he is the modern rapper. He is a conscious rapper, without question. He is the only rapper in 50 years that won a Pulitzer Prize. Let's go way back as an influence. 1970, rap music came on the scene. Rap music is 50 years old. And that was one of the causal reasons when, not when Pac was doing it, he was talking about the condition of the community, the condition of the culture. He too was a conscious rap. But shortly thereafter, it morphed into what? Gangster rap. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, the incredible late, great Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, was very angry about it. Knew her. We had done some things together. And she made the seminal statement with Gangster Rap by saying simply, you cannot continue to call yourselves niggas, bitches, and hoes, degrade your women, it's misogyny, think that you will ever amount to anything. And it was that 50-year period that it was the greatest decline in marriage rates. So rap music made a contribution to it. It didn't happen because of rap music, but it was a circumstance that, let's put it this way, put some cultural fire on what was happening to the modern woman.
Okay, again, and many people say music have no influence. Many people say music don't have no influence, and music have so much influence. So I don't even wanna go there. But the very fact that this is a professor can actually say that about rap music, desensitizing the females. And it's not just rap music. It's not just rap music. That's one of the music. Slap music, gun music, influences. Hmm. As the professor speaks.
Then some writings came out. I think it was 1989, and that was the writings of Shahrazad Ali, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding Black Women. And if you were around, that was all the rage. And she was incredible. She's still around. She's still doing her thing.
Yeah, she's been on our show. She's
Oh,
on our
I love her. I mean, she had 12 children, 9 of them adopted, right?
Wow.
And she was critiquing the behavior back then of Black women. Then another mitigating, or not mitigating, but circumstance that added to the fire. In 2000, social media became popular. With Facebook was in 2004, 2010, Instagram, 2016, TikTok, and uncensored. So let me give some context to that. There was a study done by Tom Burrell of Burrell Advertising in Chicago that in the late 80s, early 90s, on the television viewing habits of Black people. Well, it was really the television viewing habits of all culture. He's a big ad agency. What he discovered in the surveys that they did, that Black people watched the most television of any cultural group in America at that time. And it was 72 hours of television a week. That's what we were watching back then. That's 10 hours television a day. And I, of course, when I'm around country speaking, I'm giving these quotes and I'm saying to Black people, any Negro watching 72 hours of television a week, I should say, and 10 hours a day needs their black ass kicked because we ain't about nothing. You're watching television for 10 hours a day, you're working for 8 hours a day, and you're sleeping the rest, right? Well, we no longer watch television 10 hours a day in the newest studies. It's down to about 4 or 5 hours a day.
Okay, good.
You know where the rest of the screen time goes?
Oh, social media.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where we are.
Ah,
It's addictive. Not only is that where we are, it's uncensored. So you will hear anything.
That's true. Uncensored, right? Once that's uncensored, you will hear anything.
You watch Instagram for a little while, you will see
yeah.
anything. At least television had some censoring.
Yes.
With social media, it's all free speech. So that contributed a little bit because one of the major features, if you watch any Instagram, one of the major features on Instagram in terms of topic product is black male female relationships.
Mm,
Right? All kinds of commentary. Some
yeah.
of it is wonderful and helpful and good, and some of it isn't. Then the then a young brother came along in 2020. His name was Kevin Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin had a hell of a show. And his whole show was about marriage. Marriage. What's happening to marriage in our culture? And it was mostly women. He had a couple of men on there every now and then, but it was really straight talk. What people said they didn't like about Kevin, I loved the show, was his tone. He was very, very forthright, and so that began informing us around what the real issues are. So we can say that the foundational problem is now the toxic relationship between black men and black women. And I'm talking about the modern black woman. We're really talking about Gen Xers. Okay. Much of this stuff would not apply to old school sisters. Now, at 80, I'm the oldest of the boomers. The youngest of the boomer would be about 60.
Okay.
Anything younger than 60, you are a Gen Xer and you grew up in the more modern. So it has been devastating. Now, if we want to look at the sociological reasons, high level reasons for falling marriages, economic disparities in our culture, economic um, instability that is disproportionately affecting black communities, making marriage less feasible. Money, cultural shifts, we talked about that, changing cultural attitudes towards marriage and family structure, high rates of incarceration. This is what was going on in the 60s and 70s. Disproportionate incarceration rates among black men that reduced the pool of eligible black partners.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 million more black men 18 plus than there are black women. If every black woman decided to get married tomorrow, there'd still be 2 million men left over.
Mm. Wow.
Faithful attainment. Our sisters have out attained us men in education. And these increased educational opportunities for black women have often led to delays in marriage. In other words, it used to be you graduate from high school and maybe you graduate from college and you were ready for marriage in your 20s. I got married later. Standard, Gene and I, Nora Jean and I, we got married at 28. But a lot of our sisters now that they were getting much more education. The thing when once they got their college degree, the next big thing for them was to work on their career.
Mm.
So they delayed marriage to pursue advanced education uh, and advanced opportunities. So that delayed the age of marriage. And then, of course, social networks and which the changes in social networks and community support that traditionally facilitated marriage in our culture. So, so it's a lot of things. It's not one thing, but these are quiet things that we don't talk about that have a domino effect.
Yeah, what the man said, the things them what we don't talk about. We don't talk about these issues. And it becomes a domino effect for our destruction. People, hmm, as we proceed,
We end up now with this state of marriage that we're in, 23% going down to the low teens. It has also impacted our choices in terms of who we marry. What do you mean by that, Dr. Fraser? Mixed marriages. Black men choosing white women, black men choosing white men. Mixed marriages. And that's a very interesting case. In, let's say, in 1960, mixed couples, black men marrying white women or vice versa, was less than a percent. That was in 1960. Today, it is 10%. So it's 10 times greater, 10 more than that. 10%. I did an AI deep research on it because AI will do trends based on facts and statistics. What will mixed marriage rate look like by 2060? Mixed marriage community will go to 35%.
oh,
Now, when you look at the 35%, if you look at the split, black men marrying white women, 45%. Black women marrying white men, 30%. The two numbers together, that's 75%. 75% will be mixed marriages. Now, what does that mean? It's actually the fulfillment of a futuristic statistic I used to say to people when they would ask me, Dr. Fraser, when is racism going to end? I'll say this in front of large audiences, actually mixed audiences. I said, well, I always apologize. I said, I want to say this and still be loud. I say, by the end of the 21st century, we will have screwed our way out of it. You won't know who to call a nigger. We will be so mixed up. And right now it says that 75% of us will be in mixed marriages by 2060. So, what are the solutions? We could spend a long period of time talking about the solutions. I have a few, but we are going to have to change our minds. Let's just put it that way. And to reverse this trend, this is a very, very difficult thing to do. But there are things that we can do. First of all, there are 75,000 black churches in it. This is where Black people are. The most trusted and historically significant institution in our culture. There should not be a Black church in America in the next 20 years that does not have a marital ministry. We need to be talking about it. There's 1,200 references to marriage and families in the Bible. There's plenty to talk about, but they don't talk about. So they need marriage ministries. They got ministries for every damn thing else. There also needs to be a ministry in every church on relationships. How does one build relationships and constant mental health?
Yeah.
We are deeply wounded people. Professor Smith talks about this. Sebi talks about this. Dr. Whitaker talks. We are still traumatized. We are still deeply injured people. We really don't know who we are. We really don't. There are those who do. They're not just Black people. I love them. Those are the ones I tend to hang out with. Even our conference is a conscious conference. The Browder opens the conference every year with a lecture on our ancient history. Dr. Whitaker is our official chief of the conference. He opens the conference with opening words. Dr. David Whitaker is an installed chief in the village of Otonqua in Elmina. And he is a PhD psychologist. And he's been my best friend for 60 years, and he was our family psychologist. He was our family therapist for 25 years because I understood that we as a family, we needed therapy. And that is how I got to where I was. So we need therapy. And we have to, it was a stigma in our culture.
Okay. You see, people, again, back to the professor. What we need therapy, people. No, for real enough. We really need some therapy, people. We really need some therapy because the state of our mind sometimes, me tell you, say it's not good. From the way we talk to each other, just it's not good. So it's true. We do need therapy. We need to have them conversation here. As we proceed, Mr. Professor.
Culture. If you ever told somebody, I'm getting therapy, right? They look at you like you had 3 heads, right? It should no longer be a stigma. It should be considered to be smart because we need therapy. We don't know who we are. We don't know that we are the children of the slaves that would not die. That we were building pyramids and solving complex engineering problems when other cultures were living in caves practicing cannibalism. That's who we are.
That's right.
And we've got to work on that. And that's on us. We have to have another thing is that we have to have systems to encourage healthy relationships and programs on relationship building skills and communications and helping us to develop our emotional intelligence. I talk a lot about that in some of my speeches, right? Yeah. As you get older and wiser, you will find out that your EQ, your emotional quotient or emotional intelligence, will be far more important than your IQ. And emotional intelligence is simply the ability to manage and to handle the 5 most important emotions in your body. Right. So effective communication skills. It's really one of the reasons that Nora Jean and I sustained a marriage for more than a half a century.
Mm.
How we communicate with each other. Right? Because in 52 years, people used to ask me, Dr. Fraser, what is the key to staying married to the same sister a century plus? And I say to them, well, it's a one word answer, amnesia. That's the key. And then I unpack it. I said, listen, in 52 years, Dr. Fraser is going to do some dumb shit. And so is Miss Nora Jean Fraser. She's going to do some dumb shit too. Now, when we do our dumb shit, because we both have high emotional intelligence, we sit down, we discuss it like we're sane, right? We reach middle ground, and then we bless it and release it, never to bring it up again, unless you do the same dumb shit.
Again.
And you only got 2 or 3 times to do it. All right. So the same thing. So you know, moderating our tone and how we respond to each other with out of love, out of empathy, out of sympathy.
Mm.
If sympathy is necessary, out of understanding and reaching middle ground, and then the only the only evidence of forgiveness is change.
Mm. The only evidence of forgiveness is change.
I know, yeah, I know you want forgiveness on it, and I want you to forgive, and thank you for you know for forgiving me. But I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Does the change result? Does the forgiveness result in change?
Mm.
So, and that's what couples do. Um, and that's really the definition when you marry someone. You marry them based on being equally yoked, right? Equally yoked. You hear that all the time. A lot of people
Yes.
don't know what
Yes.
that means, right? Here's what it means, and this is what you need to look out for when you're selecting a life partner, because that's what you put your hand on the Bible, right? Um, you look for their ability to moderate their emotions in the hills and valleys and twists and turns of life. How do they respond to it? That's why you need some time when you when you meet someone that you are attracted to. You need some time to monitor their reactions to a variety of things, because the first few weeks, few months is all peaches and cream, right? And everybody, the whole world is a what was the whole world is a stage and everybody's playing a part. It's certainly the truth when you're courting someone in the earliest stages of that courting. It's through the time and through different circumstances that you moderate how people respond to certain things, and you see if you're equally yoked. So equally yoked means my strengths cover your weaknesses, and your strengths covers my weaknesses. In other words, we say that in a different way. I got your back.
Yeah.
I feel you. We'll talk about
Yeah.
it. So it's an art and science to it. Um, so we need, if you want to know another thing that we need access to mental health resources to address the mental health issues we all will have or have.
Yeah.
Okay, we need it absolutely, um, because you're going to have issues that will affect your relationship. No one is exempt from that. Okay, so
Yeah.
um, so that's another thing that we could do. And the other thing we can do that we don't do we used to do, we celebrate everything.
Mm.
We used to
But
celebrate being married. Community initiatives that celebrate and normalize marriage again.
You see? But now we wait until we get a special date so we can spend money. When we used to celebrate every day. Never have to specialize no day. I tell you say how things change, it doesn't change for the better, we know. And we don't understand how important it is for us to understand. So which part this come along? When did we start live this way? All of them things I'm tell you say it's a detail of us that we don't look into. As we proceed with the professor, you know.
Okay. It is the rock that will keep us together. And it, I'm writing a book on it. And, it's called The New Flex. And I had a picture of it. I want a picture of the book of it. I wanted to find it for you, but I couldn't find it. Let me see. Oh, I know where it is. I want to show the book up. But it's not coming out until December when the conference comes out. Called The New Flex. The existential crisis of the Black family, a path for restoration, a path for restoration. Now, anybody that has ever, if you're in New York, you might have done some restoration things, right? Now, if you
Mhm.
have a license to do restorations, one of the fundamental reasons and requirements that you must abide by if in fact you are restoring something is you must use original parts.
Mm.
You
I
must,
like where you're going with this, Dr.
you
Frazier.
know what I'm saying? You must use original parts.
Yes.
Think about that. So that's the sub theme, a path for restoration. Um, I'm very excited about the book. I was looking for the book cover, and I don't know what the hell I did with it because I want to show it to you. A very beautiful book cover. But anyway, I can't find it. I don't want to take time.
That's funny. That's just a part. It's funny that a Christian can use the word hell. Oh, so anyways, again, this man, I tell you, say all of the people, them all of a sense of humor in some way, form, or shape, right? It's just when I listen to them people and see how educated these people are, but the thoughts are not far from how to fix the issues that we have. I said the frequency we talk to each other, and it's not a good frequency. We curse each other every day. We never have anything good to say to each other or about each other. So how can them things ever be resolved? So at them reasoning them me the point as we proceed with the professor.
So I say if there are questions, and there may be a
Mhm.
couple of questions, if someone
Oh, we got.
wants to explore uh, some of the stuff I've said, let me close with this. My favorite quote outside of the Bible is a quote by Marcus Aurelius. I study Stoicism. I study concentric philosophy, and I study the philosophy of Jesus Christ. Those are the three philosophies. I study to read 100 books a year. I've been in my office. There's 2,500 books in my office, and my office ain't in my home. There are 15,000 books in my home. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying.
15,000 book in his home. He reads 100 books a year. This man, what's his age again? 82? Hmm. As we proceed, Professor.
I'm well read and well rounded. One of the issues we have, the old trope about black people want to hide something from a black man and put it in a book.
Mm.
And I never condone to that. That's why I miss him read so much. I read so much and I write so much. So all of them things that it's like when you hear them things that makes me wanna read more. Make me want to understand more. Why make them would have say something like that? Them say the devil in the details, and me find out say the devil. Well, whoever said the devil in the detail is a liar, because the devil never said that. Reading as we proceed, Professor.
Mm.
So we have to fix that. Reading helps, and today in technology, you don't even have to read. You can get books in there, and they'll read the book to you in your car while you're driving to Mama's house.
Yes.
Now, this is my office. You see behind me are two big, comfortable chairs. That's on one side, and this one's on the other side. That's where I sit. I'm reading right now. I'm reading three books. I'm going to show you what I'm reading right.
Hold on. You hear what I'm saying? He's reading 3 books. The man says he's reading 3 books.
You don't like that? This was written in 2011 by a Stanford professor, black Stanford professor. Is marriage only for white people?
Mm.
How the African American marriage decline affects everyone. 2011.
Wow.
It's now 2025. You want to get the update.
We're going to get the update.
So
You're going to get the update.
read, brothers and sisters. I digressed and I forgot what the damn point I wanted to make. Regarding
Your closing, you said you had closing remarks, but
closing remarks. I know it was Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius said in 600 BC. 600 BC, he said that the impediment to action advances the action. What stands in your way becomes the way.
Mm.
Repeat that for you, brothers and sisters. The impediment. I got some more. Let me get off. It's over here. Okay. The impediment to action advances the action. What stands in your way becomes the way. In other words, the obstacle is the way. Where there is no obstacle, there is no way.
Mm.
What is the first thing God does when He gives you an assignment He feels that you are prepared for? He puts an obstacle in your way.
Mm-hmm.
And your job is to find a way over, around, through, and around and under the obstacle. Trip and fall and make mistakes and learn the lessons from that obstacle.
Yes.
Obstacles do not block the path. Obstacles are the path.
Mm. I like that. That makes some sense.
Where there are no obstacles, there is no way. Everything happens for a reason and serves us in some special way. And you will never understand the reason looking forward, and you will only understand it looking backwards. Okay? It's a reason. That obstacle was put there for you to learn something. And if you don't learn, what happens? The Bible tells you you will repeat it. And you will keep repeating it until you learn it. Well, that's really sort of a metaphor for marriage. And partly, there will be obstacles. I'll finish with this. If you are going down a straight path, lined, paved, no twists and turns, no hills and valleys. That path will probably lead you nowhere.
Ah, no, sir.
And turns, no hills and valleys. That path will probably lead you nowhere. No one is exempt. We will all have to overcome obstacles. That is just the nature of life. But understand this about life, and I'm finished. The Institute of Policy Studies did a longitudinal study of the three most productive periods of our life. The number three most productive period of our life is between 50 and 60.
Mm, I can see that.
It's the number three most productive period of our life. The number two most productive period of your life is between 70 and 80. And the number one most productive period of your life is between 60 and 70. Now, what does that mean, Dr. Fraser? That means from 0 to 49, you ain't done shit yet. All God is doing is preparing you to do your best work in the final 30 years of your life.
Yeah.
So, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, chart a good and righteous course. Stay that course. Then all that is due you will come to you.
Mm.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'd like to invite this kind of stuff we cover at the Power Networking Conference or Experience November the 5th through the 4th in Hotlanta. We have permanently moved the conference to Atlanta, and it is the new Mecca, along with Harlem, certainly of Black entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Incredible shit. And
Yes, yes, I heard Atlanta. Well, Atlanta has always been the place, but now I hear they're, making it like one of the top places for black businesses. As we proceed.
what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a happy offer.
Ooh, a happy offer. Okay, wait before you make a happy offer. People, everyone, please like and share this video, okay? Because Dr. Frazier is about to do a happy offer, okay? And
All
he
right.
told me, but he didn't tell me what the offer was, but he's doing a
You're
happy
gonna like
offer. Yep. So listen, family, like and share and comment on this video. I can tell you one thing, Jamila Hutchinson. I don't know if she's your family, but she is straight feeling you in this chat. Every other thing is like, I love him, I love him, I love him. So family, right there, like and share this video. All right, go ahead. Tell us about the offer.
this is the promotional flyer for it. On the back is how you register if you get one of these, or you can get it online. But you can get it online, but you can't get this offer. So it says this is the 24th annual Power Networking Experience Conference.
Wow.
That Forbes magazine named this conference one of the top 5 conferences in America not to be missed. Not one of the top 5 Black conferences, although it is Black, but one of the top 5 of all conferences put on in this country. I'm very proud of that honor. The registration, a standard registration. We're not talking VIP or ultra VIPs. If you're interested in it, that's how you roll. We'll talk about that over the phone. But a regular price is $2,987.
Wow.
We
Okay.
sell out.
See, Professor still are making money. You hear me? Yes, it's one of the top 5 conferences in America. So it's not gonna be cheap. When you go see these people, then professor, like when them get together to educate you, it's like you're in a university of unlimited knowledge. and $3,000 for go take that in. Yes, it would be worth it. I guess I'd be laughing all the way there, but crying when I'm coming back to pay for that. People. Again, Mister, sometimes when I jump on my channel, it's me love the fact that I have my one channel. Okay, I hang out with my one and two people and AI, cause AI is always here. I big up the thing, I listen and I learn, right? Almost $3,000 for your conference ticket still. As we proceed, people, Professor still a make a dollar. Seeing.
We
Hey,
sell out. But by the way, we're 50% sold out, and it's still almost a year away. But we have a huge following. We've been doing this for 24 years. That's the regular price. Now, to be honest with you, we have an early bird price because it's early. Okay, and that price is $1,287.
mm-hmm.
1,287. We want you to bring a young person. We should not be meeting like this with all of this subject matter expert and all this power and all of this consciousness packed in 1,500 people packed into a convention center. Well, it's actually not in the convention center. It's in the Omni Hotel, which is huge in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta. We want you to bring a student, a young person, 17 to 25. Our young people should be meeting, sitting at the feet of masters, and you should be accompanying them, exposing them to see 12, 1,500 of the baddest brothers and sisters on the planet gathering together to connect, grow, and prosper so that we can learn, earn, and return, which is our theme. It's priceless.
That's true. Learn, earn, and return. And that's is it. Well, him definitely earn, and we all learn, and him can return some of the cash, cause a $3,000 ticket and him a take off a big chunk off of it. As we proceed, people, I love these programs.
A student registration is $567. So let's say round number 600 and 1,300. That's $1,900 for one adult and one student. So I'm going to reduce that price. Reduce that price from, what did I say, $1,900 to $499.
Oh,
$499. So that's a 70+% discount. $499. Now you cannot go on the site and get that. There's an offer on the site, but it ain't that. The early bird offer. You can't get that. This is a happy offer. The only way you can get that is through me. And the only way you can get it through me is you've got to email me.
all
Here's
right,
my
family.
email.
Yep, I put up the email so you can email Dr. Frazier directly. Chat him up.
That's right.
He can give
Email me.
you up.
And the subject line, put I'm in, happy. This is limited to happy people.
So it's gfraser at frasernet.com. I guess you guys could like email him and talk to him, I guess, about other things and the ticket them. Or the ticket them. I recommend somebody with the money who can afford it or who live in Atlanta or who can sponsor me. Joking.
In the body of the email, your full name and your cell number. Your full name and your cell number. I'm going to limit this crazy offer because it's a crazy offer because we're going to have to subsidize your registration by another $600. Now, we don't take it out of our pockets. We will get a sponsor to subsidize your offer.
Okay, and you see when you work with sponsor, that's how you can make certain things happen as a business. or when you're collaborating with other business. That's why I'm gonna say it's so important to do business, create business, honest business at least.
And give me, I will, once you do that, you email me, I will call you. I personally will call you, worth the price of admission. And we will handle our business over the phone by credit card. You roll VIP, we'll talk about VIP, but I'm not going to get into that. But so that's the offer. It's limited because it's a crazy offer. It's limited people. So the first 10 people get the offer.
Okay. That's what's up,
Now,
family.
how will I know who's first? All emails are timestamped. So that's how I'll know. So I'm serving up 10 of these. Be the first to take advantage of it. If I wake up tomorrow and I'm feeling a little bit different, it depends on what the response is. I may do a few more, but don't hesitate. Make a commitment to yourself. The best way to make a commitment is to invest. Put your money on the table.
Absolutely.
People, I did invest in myself. I invest in myself so much. uh, it's nice to invest in yourself, but it's also nice to have support when you invest in yourself. That's one of the key as we proceed.
And how many days? And wait, when say the days again of the PowerNet conference? You said November.
November 5th through the 8th.
Okay, so 3
In
days.
Atlanta. And if
All
you
right.
live in Atlanta, kings and queens, you ain't got no excuse. Because you ain't got no airfare, you ain't got no hotel bill. Or if you live in proximity of Atlanta, it's a drive. So that's my offer.
Okay, thank you.
It's a love offering.
It's a
For the
love
happy.
offering. It's a happy love offering. We like happy love offerings. That's what's up, Dr. Frazier. That's what's up. Wow. Okay, wait. Listen, you said a lot of stuff, Dr. Frazier. So I got some questions here. Okay, I have one of the things because you were talking about Black Americans. Is there a difference between these numbers with Black people who don't live in America, like Africans and the Caribbean folks and folks in UK? Is there any difference between
That's
the numbers?
very important. The only other country where there really is an issue.
Okay, people, again, I'm not a professor, right? I when I do these, when I do them research, it's not like I choose these um research or these programs to listen to. These programs, when listen to them, I'm gonna say yes, this is a program I want to share, right? But anywhere else in the world, right? Anywhere else in the world, you could guess, right? Other than America, where would you guys think the other place would be? Just before we play the good old doctor, which other place in the things that could compare to America? And I guess already, no mind, no have it. 5 seconds. I'm gonna get the answer. No, sir. All right, people. 5 seconds not up yet. All right. Go on, Professor. Tell them.
Country where there really is an issue. It's Jamaica.
What you say?
Believe it or not, Jamaica is worse than us.
And folks in UK, is there any difference between
That's
the numbers?
very important.
Just in case you don't forget.
The only other country where there really is an issue is Jamaica. Believe it or not, Jamaica is worse than us.
Huh?
Other than Jamaica, this problem does not exist anywhere in the diaspora. But
In people, imagine that. And the same thing when I talk about are the same issue. So you think say other people have to change or are we have to change? It's funny, when I go up on the show and them start talk about Jamaica and them say Jamaican look down upon people and all of them stuff there. I'm telling you, I know some stay. But it's become normal for a few people make it bad for everybody. But when we make it bad like this, and we have the most churches per capita, what? Wow. As we proceed, people.
but amongst African American Negroes. Now, when I say Negroes, brothers and sisters, I want you to write this down. Here's how I spell it: capital N-E, capital G-R-O-W. Negro, please. Grow.
Please grow.
Capital N-E, capital G-R-O-W.
Negrow. Let's go.
No question about it.
Yeah. So, oh man, I just have a. If you can see my piece of paper right here. So, you said something early on, and you were talking about, and family. If you have any questions, you could put them in the chat, and we can get Dr. Frazier to answer them. You said that I want to know, why did you think that women wanted a baby and they didn't want to be a wife? Like, where does that come from? Wanting to have a baby and not being a wife.
That's a rough statement, but again, I don't make statements that are based on facts and statistics, because 72.
You see what the man said? Facts and statistics. Facts and statistics. Okay, people? No hearsay or no. And this is why I like these people, because these people have to know it all to make us understand what we're missing if we listen and understand what we're supposed to understand as we continue.
Percent of our children are born out of wedlock. So we have 3 times the number of unmarried babies as we have married people. Marriage is 23%. Single family or single unmarried birth rate is at 72%. That's
Wow.
number one.
Wow.
And what you do is you look at trends. And what I've done is I've looked at the trends from the high rate of 1950 of marriage to now 2020, 2020. The rates for 2024 and 2023 aren't out yet, up until this point, and it's been a precipitous drop. So then remember that 80% of our children are being raised in a single parent household, principally by a Black woman. Right? So it's the reflection of the toxicity between Black males and females at this moment among the modern Black woman and the modern Black men. Women ain't feeling the brothers the way they used to, and brothers ain't feeling for a whole bunch of reasons.
Okay, and again, you see, not feeling with the respect and how we talk to each other. Everything about how this professor talk about, this is what I say one time I go deep down into the situation. This is what we're looking at. This is what we're not talking about. This is not what we're facing. We're not going to face each other in a anger and argument and fight. But look, listen to how the man calm and just, and the man, the memory of this man is unbelievable. The man is just remembering everything except when he put the book. People, come on, man. Like up the life, man. Come on, people, man. Oh no, I go on some man. If you don't not love that moment, I mean, I know what wrong with it. Oh yeah, I know I'm some mix up, but this is good mix up. This is knowledge mix up. As we proceed, people.
And so but the urge to nurture and to give birth to feminine gift that God has given only woman is, okay, it's powerful. There's so many ways that you can have a child. You can freeze your eggs. You could, there are all kinds of ways you can do it, or you could, there's any virile, good-looking brother will certainly help you out, right? If you make it appealing enough. So many of our women want children, but they ain't feeling the marriage thing. If they are feeling the marriage thing, I just demonstrated to you through facts and statistics, they're choosing another race. And that's increasing. So we got to fix that. So that's where that statistic comes from.
Yeah.
Based on facts, statistics, and trends, our sisters are having babies at a very high rate. That's a wonderful thing. We're more than replacing ourselves. We ain't worried like white folks are worried. White folks are really worried about, extinction. They are not replacing themselves. Their average family birth rate is under two per family. We're over two per family. So at least we're replacing ourselves. That's important. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's what it is.
So you know what? So it's interesting because when I'm listening to you and you're talking about this marriage piece. Is this is what is the difference between the actual like being married and just being in a committed relationship? Are those are we going to yield the same effects of those two things?
Well, you have a very interesting point. If we're not getting married, what is actually happening? We're actually changing the definition of marriage. We now have situationships, partnerships, but not that committed fun.
It all is on a ship. Everything is on a ship, people. It's everything is on a ship.
There's no thing that comes with marriage. I mean, what is the number one responsibility of a man in marriage? You put your hand on the Bible and you say it: provide, provision, and protect. That's the number one responsibility. And a lot of men feel that they're on the wrong end of the stick if the thing goes south. I tell people that all the time. That's why I started by saying the most important decision you will make in your life is your life partner, right? Screw that up, brothers, 2 or 3 times and see what your life looks like. So it's an economic decision, and women are just, they are different today. The modern woman is different today than the old school women. So there's a getting used to that. If we ever get used to it, then it's of course women understanding what is the number one thing a man wants from a woman. What is the number one thing? Now, there's all kinds of studies that show you what are the number one reasons for divorce. Okay, or number two, number three, number four. But what really is the number one thing that a brother wants from his woman?
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. I guessed it. Yes.
And I don't mean a peace.
Yeah.
You
No, I
say,
know that.
no, I mean peace.
Peace, harmony,
Brother,
creative force
brother,
right there.
your
Step.
brother hard. I mean, they are still sword fighting the Eurocentric culture,
Sword fighting Eurocentric culture. I
right?
like.
But when I say sword fighting, let me dimensionalize that for you. We have a toothpick and they have a sword.
Mm,
So it's tough. It's tough out here. It's very, very, very tough. And it's tougher for men. And it always has been. And we have the biggest and most important uh, deserving responsibility, and that is to provide and protect. That is easy to say, and unless you are truly a prepared brother, you're going to struggle with it. So when you struggle with that and you come home to your voluptuous, gorgeous wife, you simply want to chill. You want peace. And when black women have a different definition of peace than we do, though. You see, this is what I love about Nora Jean, because she's learned that over 52 years, you learn what your man's definition of peace is. So you know what the definition of peace for a man is? Comes home, takes off whatever his work clothes are, and he sits down and he thinks about nothing. He just chills. He may make a drink if he drinks or she drinks. He may even smoke a joint. I don't know. He just wants to get there himself. Now, women's definition of peace is a little different. So the man is sitting on the couch, just nothing in his head, just recovering. She quietly comes over to him and says, "Why are you so quiet?" And he looked at him. This is how my this is how my life started. What, George? Why are you so quiet? Look at her. He said, your granddaughter, she made a little birthday cake for you and sent me a little video, and she wants you to look at it and text us something. And she pushed it in my face. Now I'm just trying to chill and relax. Give me an hour. All right. And it's never, the questions are softer and nicer, but it's disruptive of this moment of peace that I want just to recover from the day. Okay. So, but you see, in the Bible, when we make a vow, it says, and I'm going to give you just a little piece of it. Um, we come together and we become one. It doesn't say that we are one. No, no, no. It's not true. We become one. We learn each other. We learn each other over time. And the more time the closer it becomes. I mean, Norgene can complete my sentences. He knows when I just want to chill. This took time. We become one. Now, if that doesn't happen, we become two, right? Because it takes time to learn another person. She grew up in Cincinnati. I grew up in Bed-Stuy. I mean, she went to Bed-Stuy and it was culture shock from Cincinnati to Queen City. It was culture shock. So she has to learn me. I have to learn her. We become one. And so even in wanting peace, you have to learn what her.
And that one becomes we. You see? So that's why I say, as much as in our whole life, the similarities, we're still in the spider web, Unity, the unity of our existence. That's why I say I can sit down here with hours and hours and just talk and enjoy them people that talk and enjoy. Because greatness at the end of the month, I'm gonna have a marathon, probably 2 day marathon of just listening to the lecture of great black people. Right? Yeah. As we proceed.
Her, we become one. And so even in wanting peace, you have to learn what is it? How does your man define peace? What is peace to him? She also knows, and again, I'm not being a chauvinist here. Just this, maybe this is old school. So I come home. I come home. I get into a bathroom, and I sit in my chair in our beautiful family room, and I just breathe because I'm talking, I'm on the phone, I'm writing, doing something all day, 8, 9 hours a day. I started at 7 this morning. What time is it now? 8:43. Right? And I just chill. She says nothing to me. At about the 45-minute mark, he brings me, literally, she serves me dinner. He doesn't say, "Oh, the food's ready, it's in the pot," or, no. Wherever I'm sitting, he serves it. Doesn't say anything. Right? I really appreciate it. So in about an hour and a half or so, I get myself together and we may sit down and chat, or I may watch something on television, because she has a big TV in our big fancy bedroom. We have a big one in our big fancy family room. And then I say, yeah, I'm watching so and so and so and so, and I may watch your video tonight. And it looks interesting. Why don't you come in? And then we chat. But you learn that over time. And I learned how to give her peace. So it is little things like that.
So this is now that you brought Norma Jean into it, I gotta what's interesting is that when you guys got married, you said you were 28 when you got married, or you met her when you were 28?
We're the same age. We were
Okay,
the same age.
okay.
Same age. Yeah, I'm about 5 months older than her, but we were born the same year.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. So so it seems like, maybe, I don't know if you guys had the same intention when you got married, because I think, a lot of times we're doing stuff, but if we have to start at the lowest level, the foundation level, it's like, what's the intention? If our intention is to kind of like get in a relationship and see if it works, well, that's a different intention with, then I'm going to get in a relationship and for my lifelong partner until death do we part. So like, it's the intention will influence the action. And so, was your intention? I mean, did you guys have the same like your intention as a man? And when
Yeah,
you were 28, you had the intention of finding
that,
someone to
that-
stay in with for the rest of your life.
that's a great
Yeah.
question. Now, I'm going to say this with humility. When I was young, I was pretty hot, and I was not.
You still kind of hot right now, Dr. Fraser. We'll just put it out there.
Oh man, this one. The one that said is being modest when he was hot and he had a lot of choices. And I saw it always going on. When you're young, you have lots of choices, but it always comes down to, is it the best choice? That me say no. You can choose a person for many different reasons, other than the right reason. So I could hear what the doctor said about him escapade as a young man.
There.
I was pretty hot. Okay, got some pictures on my wall. I mean, and uh, was a man about 10. A microphone. Even then, I was speaking and talking and doing magazine stories. And in fact, when I met Gene in Cincinnati at the Black Expo, there was a spread on me in Ebony magazine that came out that Sunday. Okay, it was on my fancy bachelor penthouse apartment. So again, I'm not, I don't have that kind of swollen. I'm just giving you the context. That's pretty high, pretty practiced. Right? And a high body, and I was sort of tired of it since it got boring to me. I wanted something more permanent in my life, more stable. So, to answer your question now directly, yes, I was looking for a wife because I was ready for a wife.
Mm.
What I knew, this is the equation I gave to Nora Jean, that 1 + 1 must never equal 2. 1 + 1 has got to equal 11. Right? I wanted something that would facilitate our growth. And one of the things that attracted me to her, she was working as a executive secretary in a big corporation in Cincinnati, and she had a night job working in the big department store in downtown Cincinnati. So she had work ethic. She wanted things, and she was willing to work for those things. That impressed me. So yes, I was in a state of readiness.
Okay, so this is this is first of all, this is not a one conversation because there's when you talk about the path to restoration, and you brought up a lot of good things. Us just as people learning how to communicate, how men and women just should learn how to communicate with each other. And when you were explaining to me how you guys, if you get into like a little tip or a disagreement, and how you talk and this is that, I was thinking, okay, wait, what year did that start? That could not have started when you guys are 28 years old.
No.
Well, you talk, and then you talk. Okay, so how did
Well, what did I say? You become one. You do not start out as one. That's right. That is a total unrealistic expectation. But the woman should be looking for certain characteristics, character and integrity, and other characteristics that's desirous of her, and you should be looking for similar characteristics. And then you make that. You test those characteristics. Now we only remember she lived in Cincinnati. I lived in Cleveland. All right. So Cincinnati's 250 miles away from Cleveland. So every other week she would either come up and spend the weekend in my penthouse apartment, or I would go down there and spend the weekend in her apartment. And we did that every single week for about 13 months. And I finally said to her, because I have a weird sense of humor, I said, you know what? This incredible relationship would be a lot more affordable and a lot less expensive if we just lived together. We're not going to do that unless we get married. So let's get married. So remember, sex is controlled by the woman. Marriage is controlled by the man.
Oh, you just got a whole bunch of little quotes.
Right? Because what? The woman has to say yes to the man for sex.
Mm.
The man has to ask the woman if he will. He must give permission. Okay? So, but to initiate the getting of that permission is done by the man. Now, a little bit of ancient history, not ancient history, but a couple of 100 years ago, it was the man that walked out there, not the woman.
What?
The woman waited at the altar for the man because the man was considered to be the prize.
What? Hold on there. Hold on there. People, you hear story? You hear story? That's why I say I love them things are brethren, sistren, kings, queens. I just love them things, man. You hear me I say? As we continue, people.
Times changed and switched up. Now it's the woman walks down the aisle and the man waits for his prize. Now there's a whole lot of controversy about that one. Who's the prize? I say both of the prize.
Yeah, as I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm looking at some people in the chat going back and forth about being peace and the whole peace idea, and just saying that. But it seems like if our goal as Black people is to be financially independent and to keep on our race, that we all, men and women, have to make a decision to be committed to doing what's necessary to bond relationships and to keep this moving forward. And so if that means that I have to, because I feel like anything, you have, there's some sacrifice in anything, and it's nothing when you're explaining to me like what you need to be peaceful. And I think about so many times I've been in, past relationships where I was, like just the fact that you want to come home and not talk to me. I was like, oh, why you don't talk to me? Why don't you talk to me? Oh, you got a problem. And so I'm like, I could understand why it was not somebody's peace. Like I could understand that. But but it wasn't, and this is the thing. It's like once I started understanding who I was, right? I was like, well, damn, I need peace too. And
you do.
And the other piece is that if my intention is for you to be good, then what do you need to be good? You need to be able to sit down in your robe and chill for a minute, and I bring you some food.
Right.
That's what's up, because my goal is for you to be good, right? And then by me being good to you, then your goal now is to please me.
So that's exactly right. That's how it works, right? The second most important thing a man must have from his woman is respect, peace, and then respect. Okay.
Wow. What did he say? Respect from your woman? No respect, no woman. As we proceed, people.
The third is inspiration. You are my big.
Whoa, man! This professor, man, this man must have been a home run hitter, eh? Continue, professor.
cheerleader. Now, we know what's important to women. Provision
Mm-hmm.
and protection.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the third one that very few people think about. Non-sexual intimacy.
Mm-hmm. It's the best. Okay, go ahead.
Right? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna jump up and down on you, and you're gonna jump up and down on
Mm-hmm.
me, but we ain't doing that every day,
Yeah.
right? Maybe we do for a minute, but not for 52 years. We want non-sexual intimacy. What is that to me? Touch me, hug me. And that goes both ways. It goes both ways.
True, true, true.
Be soft. Non-sexual intimacy is very powerful. It's subtle. Um, and women want that too. Women want open communications, to be transparent, and to keep it real, upfront and honest. And what a woman deeply wants is a man that leads.
People, that's not me. There, it's a beep on their system. So don't think it's the noises. If the noise is bothering somebody, because again, usually people don't like the background noise, and yeah, until we get a soundproof, until we get a soundproof room, people. As we proceed with the professor.
Subject. Now, the controversial word amongst women is submission, and it is not what it sounds like. I'm going to be writing about this in the existential crisis of the Black family and path to restoration. Submission is really about infrastructure. That is my responsibility to provide. Now, it's not that women do not provide today. I mean, Nora Jean worked. She wanted to work. She wanted to get out into the world. Right? She wanted to work and she wanted children. But it was fundamentally, if she did not want to work, it was my fundamental responsibility that I put my hand on the Bible. I will provide. You don't have to work. If you want to work because that's what you want to do, you can. But at the end of the day, I will provide. So, and with that comes leadership. You got to lead. A man's got to be a man. He's got.
Up, up, up. Seeing. We are listening to some professor educate. Ah.
Lead his family. Let me say that a different way for those on the bleachers. A home, man is the law, woman is the love. We are the law.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Don't let that shit go to your head. We are the law. She is the love. She was uniquely created by God for nurturing, loving. This is who is fundamentally responsible for raising the children. But the children need law too. They need love. He must submit to them. That's biblical. That's how it's written. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I'm living proof. Now, I vacation every year for 41 years. For 2 weeks, four couples, we go to Hilton Head together. Right? And we do 2 weeks in Hilton Head. 21 straight years. All of them have been married over 50 years. So,
Right.
so you tend to hang out with people who share your values and mores and comport themselves as you comport yourself.
Yeah.
So yes, men are the law, women are the law. This
Mm.
combination of the two is a powerful mixture. Powerful mixture. But men designed to lead. In
Mm.
fact, if you take the hierarchy of life, there is what? God, number one. Man, woman. It's the hierarchy, right? And you can't take it to an extreme. There are certain cultures and religions that take that to an extreme.
You know,
Middle ground. Yeah.
when I was something I was thinking about when I was speaking to you last night, and you talked about places where you think when people go to Africa, like what 3 countries they should go to and why, and like your number one choice actually lends um, like more credibility to what you're saying in terms of man and woman relationships because we see it everywhere. Can you tell everybody what that number one place is?
Well, I've been to the continent 31 times. I speak
That's
globally. I've spoken in about 12 countries in Africa. So that would have taken up 12 of those visits. The others were for various reasons, trips with Tony Proud and other locals, other
Mhm.
kinds of things. And so people ask me, knowing that I've been to the continent that many times, Dr. Fraser, I've never been to Africa. You'd be surprised how many black people have never been to the continent. If I only went one place, where would you suggest?
The man of Flintstone. You'll be surprised how much people's been to Africa. Not been to Africa. Okay, so yes, I gotta count myself as one of them people that was never been to Africa. Okay, I'd like to go. But I say I'd love to go to Burkina Faso, Niger, one of those countries. Yes, yes, yes.
If I decide to go a second time or a third time, where would you suggest that I go? If you only went one time, the first place you should go, Africa, is Egypt,
Egypt,
Cairo.
Cairo.
That trip alone will change your life. Because when you go into the tombs, the burial, the burial sites and the pyramids, and you look on the paint, you look on the walls of those paintings, 5,000 years before Christ. They were preserved because they were, entombed. You will see every color from blue, black to color, those paintings. Now, evidence of something very, very biological, that the black woman, is the only species on Earth based on mitochondrial DNA that can produce every color of human being on Earth. No one else can do that but the black woman. We populated the world. So white folks have always known how powerful and they feared us, really. They enslaved us, but they feared us because they believed that if we ever overpowered them, we would do to them what they did to us.
That's funny. Some people, not everybody. But I'm saying, if them stop If they stop, why would they fear something? Eh? If they never continue, why would they fear something that they stop? Maybe that one of the biggest issue, you know. I never look at it like that still. But I say most of the time we just wanna be left alone. That's how I see it. Given the opportunity for us to be successful, I'm fine with that. Maybe then if you do a poll like that for really see as we continue, you know.
We have to build one. So um, we're powerful people. We're all that in a bag of chips. We really, really are. Once we understand our power, then the numbers. Listen, there are 8 billion people in the world. Only 7% of the people are white. 93% of people in this world are melanated, dominated by people of African descent, at 1.5 billion, East Indians at 2 billion, Chinese and Asians, etc. So we're not outnumbered, we're outorganized. And of course, the rallying cry for 100 years in our culture is unity, collaboration. Absolutely. No question. If we ever unify and collaborate, game over.
Game over. Game over. Game over.
Game over.
Game
Game
over.
over.
They ain't
Game
interested
over.
in that.
No, 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 no. But we need to be interested in that. And also
Right.
shout out to Dr. Ken Harris. He's in the house. He's like,
Ken,
yep. What up,
how you
Joe?
doing, my brother? Ken, thank you for this.
Oh, that's what's up. That's nice. That's nice. So okay, listen. First of all, Dr. Frazier, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Are you okay? First of all, you got to come back. Will you come back and talk to us?
Sure.
Okay, great. Because we got a lot more to talk about. This has
But
been
this, but
so
it's not
good.
fun. I mean, I'm doing what I love. And
Yeah.
it's loving. I mean, the theme of our conference is connect, grow, and prosper. We want you to be able to do that so that you can do the ultimate thing. Learn, earn, and return. We have a lot of us learning.
Earn and return.
Learn,
Yes,
earn,
a lot
and
of us
return.
learning and a lot of us earning, but not enough of us returning, and therein lies our problem.
Yeah.
So we've
Yeah.
got to return. We've got to repeat. So there will be people the next time I come who will have been on the first time I come, and maybe I'll say some of the same things, but this stuff deserves and needs repetition. What is the key to learning? The key to
Repetition.
learning is simplicity and repetition. You gotta say it 50 different ways on 50 different days, and then you have to understand how Black people learn. We're oral, visual, tactile, kinesthetic, and auditory learners. So
Yeah.
you keep repeating it and repeating
Yeah.
it. You may dress it up with a different story or a little different, but it's the same thing. If you go to YouTube and look at hundreds of videos of my talks over many, many years, what you will notice, I've been saying the same damn thing for 40 years. I may say it a little bit different, but it's the same thing.
Yep. It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
That's right.
Yes. So yeah, because this idea, yeah, I love the examples that example that you gave with you and Miss Norma Jean. And I think that really a key to this is that men and women, we don't have a lot of time to be sitting around, and we need to really start talking to each other, really start talking to each other. But before we can get to that place, we have to set our intention for the same thing. Our intention when we sit down to talk to each other has to be so the other person is good.
That's right. Yeah, I like your word intentions. There's another word we could use: boundaries.
Hmm.
Boundaries. Everything has boundaries.
Everything has boundaries. Absolutely.
Around
Yeah.
and what you ultimately learn about your partner, because we're all changing. So the chances of a marriage staying together for a half a century uh, uh, is one out of five, if that. Why is that, Dr. Because when you decide to marry this person that you're equally yoked to, the first two things that could happen in the relationship. Remember, you're still growing and evolving. You're evolving. So the first thing, two things that could happen is that you can grow in one direction and she could grow in another direction. That's the first two things. The second two things that could happen is that you could outgrow her or she could outgrow you. That's four things that could possibly happen. The fifth thing that could possibly happen, and hopefully it does happen, you grow together like a twisted ficus tree. And that's when it's hard. And then you understand the oak tree versus the bamboo tree. You see, oak trees are beautiful. They're solid as a rock, and they grow 200 feet high. A bamboo tree takes 5 years to develop a root system. Then it grows 100 feet in a year. But when the wind blows, some shit goes down. The oak tree, confronted by 100-mile, 200-mile-an-hour wind, will, because it's brittle, will crack and break. A bamboo tree, 100 feet high, with deep roots, will bend all the way to a horizontal position until the wind passes. Then it pops right back up. It's a metaphor for how you have to cultivate, nurture, and develop a relationship. Yes, stuff's gonna go down. There's going right. There's going to be thunder and lightning. There's going to be wind. Yes, and no one is exempt. You just have to learn how to withstand it.
Yeah, and you have to want to withstand it.
Oh, sure.
You have to want to withstand it. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Just one little quick question, because it's so funny. Because we said the number one place you would say would be Egypt, and what are number two and number three? Because people are asking.
Yeah.
What's number
two? Ghana. Ghana, I believe, is one of the most friendly of the countries. Not that they aren't all friendly, but Ghana in particular is first of all, it's very easy to get to. You know, you go to New York, you cross the Atlantic, and you're in Ghana, right? So it's on west coast of Africa. Ghana, very friendly. They're now working on systems where we can actually now get not passports, but citizenships. You can get dual citizenship, right? The land there is relatively inexpensive. They're looking for us to come there, and they welcome us to come there and to settle and develop and have it as a second home. It's just very friendly to African Americans.
Okay.
And a lot of us probably have friends who are in Ghana. All right. Yeah. You go someplace, you got some friends. The third, because it's interesting and you should see a different side of Africa, would be South Africa. South Africa, Johannesburg, Cape Town. You can do safaris. I mean, and then if you fly into Johannesburg, it's like flying into San Diego, right? Now, and that's, by the way, where the Nelson Mandela Museum is. So there's a lot to see in Johannesburg, and it's one of the wealthiest countries in Africa, and it's just a different vibe. You need to experience that when you go to a continent.
Yeah, 100%. Get to Table Mountain in South Africa. Table Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot to see.
Yeah, a lot to see. Wow. Okay, so this has been great, Dr. Frazier. I thank you so much. This is, you have you've opened the door to a lot of other conversations that we're gonna have. This idea of Black woman, Black man relationships is something that we have to really, because it's the crux of us being okay, and us being financially independent, and our kids being good, and their kids being good. So yeah, we're gonna have more conversations.
Yeah. Our children must have both male and female influence.
Yeah, I have two boys.
And even if you have daughters, right? And I have three granddaughters. A real man and male, as a grandfather, as a father,
A real man, a male. I'm not touching that because him touch it already. And I'm a professor, so let's leave it alone, yeah, sir.
Daughters, as a father, you influence the decision or inform the decision of your daughters on what a real man is. You become the model for that. Same if you're
Absolutely.
raising sons. Same with you raising sons, right? You become the model for what a real man is. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I have two boys, and let me tell you, there's things I do as a mom, but a lot of who they are, I mean, it's your dad. It's like the male,
Absolutely.
males,
They're
men
men.
can raise men. I, you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
So when your sons start, if your sons ever start wanting to be you, and they want to try on your dress, and
yeah, that's a problem. Yeah,
a whole other issue, right?
exactly.
No, you want no, but they want you want the softness and the love and the
Yeah,
nurturing as a part of their character,
yeah,
as a part of their understanding. They want
exactly.
to see that, so that will inform your son's decision on what a real woman.
Mm, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Frazier. Um, all right. I'm going to okay, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna put you back in the green screen. I'm gonna close the show off, but don't go anywhere, okay?
Okay.
All right. Beautiful.
Okay, people, beautiful. That was, I tell you, say, them program that I'm finding, it's so inspirational, so educational. I say the problem what we have, are we for solve it, And the very fact say, when they did the study, we were upset with the study, even though it's the truth. I'm gonna tell you, say the truth hurt, but it's the truth is something that we have to accept. We have to understand why. People, I thank you for all the time. I thank AI for show up. I thank the people them on the rewatch, the rerun. I will continue push out them program because I tell you say these programs are so educational. And this live started out with Marie Maynard Daly, and she trust me, she was one of the first American biochemists, and she was an amazing person. Hopefully, I can get some more information on her, but there's a lot of details on her. People, education, I say, smart people are cool. I'm out.